Hi, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you'll stay with me through the entire presentation, and I'm going to try to not be long. I am going to read some poetry. So, with that said, I'm going to show you some different prompts that I've put together for today. Can you tell what this is? It's a fortune cookie. Inside of the fortune cookie today, it said, the insert said, your respect for others will be your ticket to success. And I had thought about that anyway because I was going to mention that different people are not able to go different places that they like to go. Some people like to go to church, some people don't. So I did go to a church service last Sunday. It was on the parking lot, and I'm glad that I went. So here's a poem that relates. It is called Question After Question. Mama, why do people shout? Well, sometimes they're happy and sometimes they're sad. Mama, you were right. Believers know that no one but God has blessed them with a particular happening. All of the sermons that are preached and the songs that we sing, when they relate to the gospel, they send our spirits rejoicing. To fly away from the body is what the spirit seems to want to do. Maybe to go to heaven just for a peep or two. The emotions felt are expressed involuntarily because the joy is so overwhelming. Some people may not have received their blessing. They still rejoice because they believe that weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Being curious, like usual, I looked up the word blessing a long time ago. How to receive one, I anxiously wanted to know. I'm so excited because I've learned so much. I even feel some of those same high emotions. My faith has received another promotion. Hallelujah. Okay, back to the prompts over here. Can you tell what this is? Noah's Ark and the animals. These are earrings. Found these some months ago. There's the matching pin. So that was an interesting story to learn. The people didn't want to live as they were supposed to live, so the great flood had to come. So once again, that was a story that I appreciated learning about. Some of these stories, not some of them, so many of them, I wish were told to me so much more often. So very, very much more often. So better late than never, and better told than not told. So I've got another prop that I'm going to show you, but I've got to reach for it. Look at this. This is one story I learned late in life. And I found this item just months ago, and I knew that I really wanted it, so here it is. It's the shepherd boy, the story of the shepherd boy. People weren't living as they needed to live, so this star relates to the birth of Jesus. it was shining over the stable so that the wise men could know where to find baby Jesus and to go and worship him. So the shepherd boy was out in the field tending to his sheep. Turn around, shepherd boy. And then that bright light just really stood out to him. Isn't that nice? So once again, I wish these stories were told so much more often. Hang on. Okay, still on the idea of Christmas. You know how some people love to celebrate Christmas regardless of how they feel about the true events that surrounded it. Well, that's okay. I did it. Like, hey, just bring on the gifts, you know. And I always did have respect for the teaching, but I learned much, you know, the true meaning much later in life. Okay, I mean, after growing from a little kid, I began to focus more. Here's a poem, Christmas Cues, and it relates to the last prop. My lifetime has existed and continues through this world-famous age of 33 years. Shared and studied biblical topics for some time have not scared nor confused my ears. You are very special. In my time, you're one of the countless channels specifically chosen to demonstrate numerous happenings identical to those that I've read and learned about. More than sharing time as childhood friends, classmates, college pledges, close military friends, we're simultaneously traveling life's spirit-filled routes. Our promise common through end-time tribulation, filled with some prompts, manifested prayers, witnessed miracles, fascinated minds, unfolded mysteries, and granted understanding and wisdom. Reveal truth of there is nothing new under the sun. May the significance of Christmas bring peace and joy to you, even in your races and battles, and may they continue to be won. So here we are in these days with the battle of the virus that's in the air. Not to continue to focus on that, but just how all of this comes together and how it's all connected. How with the right faith and the right thoughts, how it can help to push through, help us to push through. So, what other prop? Okay, here's another prop. Some people go, okay, Easter, innocent lamb slain. Okay, they go, what does an egg have to do with Christmas? So people can misuse a telephone, you know, or anything, but still you can take an Easter egg. I got these from an Easter egg hunt that I went to years ago. Can I show you something? It's a bag. It's going to be very crinkled, and it's from an Easter egg hunt like 2015 or 2016. And these eggs came from that Easter egg hunt. Hold on, I'm going to show you the bag. Okay, don't faint. Well, I told you this is an old bag, and these eggs were in the bag, and they're part of my props and to do with my theater company here. So at the Easter egg hunt, we were to draw on the bag So this was my picture that I drew, the cross, the resurrection, okay, and then my words, it was the sun. But anyway, I had two younger cousins with me and their grandmother, who was my aunt by marriage, and it was just an awesome time. Hang on, please. Okay, another part of services that I would like would be the communion time, where we would reflect on the death and resurrection of Jesus. So it would be wine and bread, wine to represent his blood, the bread to represent his broken body. So moving on, once again, I'm glad that I began church as a kid, and many years later, as I continue to go, learn so much more. One of the stories that stand out to me is the potter and the clay. So here's some clay. You can shape this and mold it and make it be whatever you want it to be. So it relates to us as people, how we're being shaped and molded all the time, and depending on our influences, we can have some good results. Thank you for being a good influence and giving me your time right now. So, what if I wanted to make a happy face? He needs to look happier. Why does he look mean or mad? And I'm trying to make him smile or her smile. But anyway, the eyes are there, and the nose and the mouth. So there we are. Here we are. We were created and still being shaped and molded every day. So just thought the potter and the clay story may interest you. Same thing with architects. Say for instance, if this is the ground and they want to start building buildings, a green building, and they construct a white one. How about a yellow one? So these little presentations here are just to relate to us as people, being shaped and molded and constructed in different ways. So I'm getting near the end. Certainly we're in a war. People can't go where they want to anymore because of what's in the air and how it originated. People are talking about that and how to try to get rid of it. One pastor taught that there is a war that's going on overseas, and it's been going on since the beginning of time. And whenever that war ends, then that's a great sign that all of creation and for it's going to really be different. Just like times are tough now, if belief hasn't been like it's supposed to be for certain people, then it can be more of a challenge. So it's good to know what's going on in the Middle East about one particular war. And I emailed him when this virus first hit, and I said, hey, can you please help me with that lesson again? Meaning I should have taken better notes. And now you don't get any reports on the different wars that are going on. So there's another soldier, he's on the ground fighting. So I need to find the passages and read. Okay, well, let me see if there's another poem that would relate. I've read two so far. Okay, we all have different gifts, talents, callings, and purposes. Oops. You know, we're all shaped and molded to have different gifts, talents, callings, and purposes. So we should celebrate each other and not be jealous. Um, and just know that if we do the right things, our different gifts and talents will surface if they haven't already. And we should be trying to help each other to reach our fullest potentials in those areas. Here's a poem. It's called Jealousy. Hang on just one second. Afterwards, I hope that you will call somebody and compliment them on their different gifts and talents, or at least one or two, or send them a card and encourage them, you know, to work to keep pushing forward, and to that you're rooting for them. Anyway, let them know that you're rooting for them. It says jealousy. Jealousy is an emotion that has one's mind moving like an ocean. People truly need to pray about their evil notions. The thing that really hurts most, jealousy can even come from a stranger or someone who is really close. It may be continuous or occasional. It would help people if they took jealousy and made it healthily useful. These people may love you, but at the very same time hate you just as much. Your bubble is what they hope is always bust. They suddenly try hard to come up with what might hurt you. Keep their motives in mind, and this they won't be able to do. When they throw a stone, remember to act nonchalant. After they're done, whatever their topic was, subtly flaunt. I don't advise that now. I call myself always being humble, but I'm so much more humble. It will, your gifts will continue to stand out. They can't be hid, so you don't have to subtly flaunt it. That was just my writing from many years ago. Okay, well, my title today, I have been your guest speaker. Okay, and I hope that you've had a good time here with me, an interesting time. Um, Different people now, some people are still at work, some people are totally out of work, and some people have been living what we're calling the pandemic, what the news have taught us as a pandemic. Some people have been living that even before it hit. And some people, okay, they're not affected anyway. They're still going to work someplace. Workplaces are dangerous. But anyway, as if we've had a church service, and you, or you didn't go to church, and you want to know where to send your offering. Here's the offering plate. So just put your envelope in and all that to relate to here. Cash App says TWJUSTICE, the $ TWJUSTICE, and that's for Cash App. For PayPal, it's WRYTE, the number 2 at yahoo.com. WRYTE, the number 2 at yahoo.com. So that will help to, for me, as I mentioned in the other video, to do more with my poetry. And as some people are being more creative now and going to turn their different talents and gifts and purpose into making income, well, I'm one of those people. So I want to do so much more with my poetry and my other creative writing. And in here, I put this in one of my YouTube videos. This is my Bible from some years ago. So I love to take care of my possessions, so I took care of this. So it got in this position, in this this state, because I studied it that way. At one point, I was using the highlighter, and I like, this doesn't look good, so I start using the pencil. And after so many years, a number of years, it came all apart. And one neighbor had taken me to lunch, and I was telling her about how they had stopped making the Rainbow Study Bible, and how had looked at some different times and was trying to choose a different brand, and how, I just couldn't bring myself to get a new one that wasn't a rainbow. And so, do you know they started making the rainbow again? And I told her that. She goes, well, let's go and get it. Let me get it for you. And she got it. And so for some reason, I don't believe this one was built as tough as the other one. But anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed some of the poetry. And if you have, or if you have not, then I'll do better. And once again, there's my Cash App and PayPal information. I hope that you'll help me to be more successful. If I can help you with something, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll think about it, and as quick as I can. If I can help, then I will. Thank you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Can you hear those? Can you tell what those lyrics are? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Have a good one. Have a blessed one.